As the UFC, PFL, and other top MMA promotions get ready for their 2024 campaigns, it's time to lay out some of our wishes for the new year. Are you excited to watch MMA fights this year? Here are the top 10 MMA fight list which you desperately wish to see this year. What is an MMA sport? Mixed martial arts, MMA, are a combat sport where competitors use three main tactics: striking, finishing holds, and control. The rules allow for various martial arts techniques such as punches, kicks, joint locks, chokes, takedowns, and throws. Victory is usually achieved through knockout, submission, or stoppage by the referee, fight doctor, or competitor's cornerman. MMA is also known as NHB, no holds barred, but this term is mostly retired. Modern competitions use more rules than before, with the first Ultimate Fighting Championships rules being against eye gouging, fish hooking, and biting. MMA styles also incorporate techniques from several sports martial arts, particularly ground fighting, stand-up striking, and takedowns. The main goal of this article is to provide information about MMA as a realistic, few rules, full contact fight sport, rather than describing hybrid martial arts not typically used in minimal rules sporting environments. Here are the top 10 MMA wish list you are looking forward for. Number 1. Jon Jones vs. Tom Aspinall. UFC heavyweight champion Jones is set to face Francis Ngannou for the third consecutive year. But the match is unlikely to materialize due to Ngannou's contract with the PFL and UFC CEO Dana White's stance on never co-promoting fights. Instead, Jones could unify the titles with interim champ Aspinall, but this is unlikely to happen. UFC plans to rebook Jones against Stipe Miocic next, and Jones has expressed interest in retiring after that fight. However, Jones and Aspinall are considered the two best heavyweights in the UFC, and Aspinall's potential to hand Jones his first legitimate defeat in MMA is a compelling matchup. Number 2. Justin Gaethje vs. Conor McGregor. The MMA world has been discussing a fight between Gaethje and McGregor for a long time, with the possibility of it happening in 2024. McGregor announced his return to the octagon against Michael Chandler on New Year's Eve, almost 3 years after breaking his leg in a July 2021 bout. Gaethje, ranked number 2 in the lightweight division, is a tough matchup for McGregor, as he hasn't competed since breaking his leg in a July 2021 bout. The Chandler fight would have been more appropriate to assess McGregor's standing after 2 years away. However, Gaethje remains a potential matchup for McGregor, as he is a human highlight reel and would make an entertaining fight. Number 3. Sean O'Malley vs. Merab Dvalishvili. UFC bantamweight champion O'Malley is set to defend his title against Marlon Chito Vera at UFC 299 on March 9th. However, his potential second matchup of the year against Dvalishvili, who has won 9 consecutive fights, has the most appeal. Vera is the only person to have beaten O'Malley in a pro MMA bout. If O'Malley retains the belt and Dvalishvili remains unbeaten since 2018, a matchup between the two is a must. O'Malley, a sharp striker with strong knockout power, and Dvalishvili, a cardio machine with elite wrestling, could be a tough matchup for O'Malley. The outcome of this bout could determine Dvalishvili's status in the division. Number 4. Patricio Freire vs. Aaron Pico. It's time for Pico to get a shot at a major championship. Pico was one of the highest regarded prospects in MMA history when he turned pro in 2017. Although he's dealt with ups and downs along the way, the 27-year-old has finally come into his own. Give him Bellator featherweight champion Pitbull Freire and see what he's made of. Whether it's for Freire's Bellator title or part of the 2024 PFL season, this matchup is long overdue. Number 5. Robert Whittaker vs. Kamaru Usman. With Edwards retaining the welterweight title against Colby Covington in December, Usman should stay at middleweight after coming up just short in his last-minute debut against Chimaev. A fight with Whittaker won't happen right away, as the former 185-pound champion is scheduled to face Paulo Costa at UFC 298. But if it happens at some point in 2024, that matchup would immediately give Usman a shot at becoming a top middleweight contender, and it would likely be an entertaining scrap. Number 6. Israel Adesanya vs. Dricus du Plessis. The UFC middleweight title fight, originally scheduled for last year, has been postponed due to injury to du Plessis. Sean Strickland has been replaced by Adesanya, leading to a significant upset in UFC history. Du Plessis is now scheduled to face Strickland at UFC 297 on January 20th. If du Plessis wins, the Adesanya fight may not immediately make sense, but if he loses to Strickland, a fight with Adesanya would be more feasible. Number 7. Zhang Weili vs. Tatiana Suarez. Yan Xiaonan is set to face champion Zhang in the next strawweight title fight, with Suarez scheduled to face Amanda Lemos at UFC 298 indicating a potential matchup between the two. Suarez, a 33-year-old undefeated wrestler, has been considered a future champion due to her injury-prone career. After a 4-year layoff, Suarez returned in 2023 and won 2 submission fights, making her a compelling opponent for Zhang. If both fights are successful, the potential for a thrilling match would be significant. Number 8. Leon Edwards vs. Shavkat Rakhmonov. Edwards' next UFC welterweight title defense should be against Belal Muhammad, who has not lost in almost 5 years. Rakhmonov, an undefeated Kazakh fighter, is considered the champion in waiting. If Edwards defends the belt against Muhammad, a fight against Rakhmonov towards the end of 2024 would be a must-see TV show, as Rakhmonov is recovering from an ankle injury and won't be back for a while. Number 9. Ilia Topuria vs. Max Holloway. Alexander Volkanovski faces Topuria in a highly anticipated UFC featherweight title defense at UFC 298, with a potential fight with former division king Holloway in the latter half of the year. Topuria, a 26-year-old from Spain, is considered the future of the division and is considered a live underdog. Holloway, the consensus number 2 fighter, has lost 3 times to Volkanovski and is just a few months away from his first knockout win in years. If Topuria wins, Holloway could attempt to regain the throne. Number 10. Islam Makhachev vs. Arman Tsarukyan. Charles Oliveira and Gaethje are the frontrunners to get the next title shot against UFC lightweight champion Makhachev. But a rematch between Makhachev and Tsarukyan is arguably more fascinating. Makhachev beat Tsarukyan in 2019 while they were young up-and-comers, particularly Tsarukyan. However, things are different now that they're 2 of the best fighters in the world. Tsarukyan is coming off a statement win against Beneil Dariush, and he should be challenging for 155-pound gold with one more big victory. Over the past decade, martial arts training and combat effectiveness have evolved significantly. Modern fighters train in 3 distinct styles: amateur wrestling, submission wrestling, and kickboxing. MMA organizations like Ultimate Fighting Championship and Pride Fighting Championships demonstrate this evolution. Which MMA battle were you most excited for? Comment below. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel for more interesting videos.